Hey there, my name is Katie and this is Louisiana Cooking and Living. If you're new to my channel, we welcome you, and if you just got the hint, we are doing some Reese's snacks, treats, yumminess. My favorite candies are actually a Reese's stick, and my new favorite is this Reese's Nutrageous. I love the sweet and the salty combined, and I have found some treats for us to make today that will incorporate all these Reese's products into our desserts. We're going to make 3 different treats today. We're going to be making a like a Rice Krispie treat, but we're going to be using the Reese's Puffs to make those. We're going to be making some puppy chow that's using the peanut butter Captain Crunch and chocolate chips and these peanut butter chips. And then we're going to be also making a popcorn that's coated in some white chocolate with some Reese's Pieces and different things. So let's just get started. So our first treat we're going to make is our Rice Krispie treats, and this is going to be a brown butter Rice Krispie treat, and I will leave a link in the description box to the original recipe. I've actually made this recipe for you before, but we're going to do a variation on it. Actually, I did 3 or 4 different cereal treat bars back in the spring, and I'll I guess up in the cards real quick I'll put that link of that video. And so we have 2 sticks of butter in here, and we are going to brown this butter, which means we're going to take it to past melted, and all the milk solids in it will start browning, and that will make it like a nutty taste to go along with all of our peanut butter ingredients we are going to be using today. So while this is going to be melting and browning, I'm going to go ahead and measure out. We also are going to be using 2 10-ounce bags of the little marshmallows. This will also have some vanilla in the recipe and some salt. You know, I always like salt with my sweet. And we're going to need 9 cups of our cereal. So I'm going to go ahead and measure out our cereal while this is melting, and I'm going to go ahead and grease my pan. All right, if you can see, it's starting to change colors now. I'm really stirring it, watching it, making sure we're not going to burn this. But you can start seeing those little brown bits down in the bottom. All right, I'm going to turn my burner down because I don't want this to burn. All right, now we're going to add to this about a ½ teaspoon of salt. And then we're going to add a teaspoon of vanilla. And now we're going to add our marshmallows in here. All right, we're going to stir this. I have my 13 by 9 here greased. And as soon as this is melted, we'll dump our cereal in here. You can see all the little brown bits in the marshmallows from the butter. The hardest part is browning the butter in this. And it's not even hard. It's just taking time and stirring it. And all right, at this point is about where I pour my cereal in. And I feel like the little rough edges help it stir together better. And this is where I'll turn my burner off. As soon as it hit that hot marshmallow, I can smell the peanut butter. It smells so good. All right, so we are going to pour this in our pan. I'm going to get some hot pads because my Dutch oven is hot here. All right, my little trick to get this spread out in the pan is to use some parchment paper. And then I usually just leave the parchment paper on top so it's covered, but I don't want it sealed on because I don't want it to steam. So we'll leave this to let this sit here and cool while we do our other recipes. So I'm trying to think about which one I want to make next. And I think what we're going to do is the popcorn. This is a yummy fall with the candy corn in it. Just a fall treat that's so good. So it starts off with 2 bags of microwave popcorn. So I'm going to get those in the microwave. So when I do my microwave popcorn, what I like to do is kind of bend this around and break it up a little bit. I don't know why. I feel like the butter inside kind of spreads around more. I don't know. It could be useless, but that's what I always do. And I know there's popcorn buttons on the microwave, but what I usually do is throw this in there on 5 minutes, and then when I hear it starting to slow down pretty good, that's when I stop it. So I'm gonna get these in the microwave and we'll get busy with the rest of it. All right, while our popcorn cools for a second, next thing we do is get 16 ounces of white chocolate almond bark. I don't know if you've ever bought this before. This is what you use to make like chocolate covered pretzels, chocolate covered strawberries, that kind of thing. So we need 16 ounces of this melted. So I'm gonna put this in the microwave. I'm gonna microwave it on 50% power and do like a minute at a time and stir. I don't want it to burn. Okay, I had popped both those bags at the same time and they didn't quite pop like they should have. And I ended up with a lot of seeds. And I took these out because once we pour the chocolate on here, I don't want seeds being incorporated in the big nuggets of the popcorn. And I didn't want somebody breaking their tooth. So I dug out the seeds and I went on and popped a 3rd bag of popcorn just to make up the difference. And my son's been snacking on the popcorn already. So let me get the white chocolate. It just finished. All right, our white chocolate is melted. So we're going to add 1 cup of candy corn, which I'm just going to go ahead and dump the rest of the bag. We're going to add 1.5 cups of dry roasted peanuts. These are just plain dry roasted peanuts. I mean, they're salted, but they're not like honey. And then we're going to add 1 cup of Reese's Pieces. Now, I don't know which came first, but when we go to the movie theater, my husband always wants Reese's with his popcorn. And I don't know if it came from this combination or he did that first. I don't remember. And so I'm going to give him a little extra Reese's Pieces since we have extra popcorn, probably. So now, actually, I'm going to give this a toss. I know all that's going to fall to the bottom, but we're going to mix it with the chocolate. I am gonna do just a little bit of salt on this. Again, salty with the sweet. Oops. Silicone spatulas work wonders to getting everything out. I'm gonna get a little bit bigger spoon too. My hands are kind of coated in it. You're definitely going to want to store this in an airtight container. All right, that is looking yummy. All right, I guess for now, wrap this loosely with saran because I don't want it to steam because that chocolate is still warm. And we'll move on to our next dish. All right, so our next one is going to be puppy chow that we are going to be making with peanut butter Captain Crunch and regular Captain Crunch. I will say peanut butter Captain Crunch is probably my favorite cereal to have in the morning. So we're going to start off with 3 cups of each of these cereals. And I have this big bowl that has a lid that I'm going to be able to shake this in, hopefully. So that's our cereal. And then into our measuring cup here, we're going to melt this in the microwave. We need 1 cup of chocolate chips. We need a 1/2 cup of peanut butter chips. We need a 1/2 cup of peanut butter. Let me get a spoon for the peanut butter. I'm going to say that's about 1/2 cup. I like peanut butter, so. And then we need 1/2 stick of butter. I'm going to cut my butter into chunks so it'll melt faster. It is room temperature, but when you have this butter and peanut butter in here with the chocolate, it doesn't burn as easily, so you can go a little bit longer between stirrings. So I'm going to get this melted in the microwave. I'm going to do about 1.5 minutes on 50% power instead of just a minute, and then we'll pour this over our cereal. So let's get this melted. All right, to our cereal here, we're going to add a 1/2 cup of the peanut butter chips, if you can see those in my measuring cup, and then a 1/2 cup of the Reese's Pieces. And then we're going to pour on, I probably should have waited to do the peanut butter chips so they don't melt. Pull some of these out. So do as I say, not as I do. All right, I'm going to pour this on. Give this a toss. All right, now to this, we are going to throw in 2 cups of powdered sugar and toss that. I did sift my powdered sugar before I put them in my container, but it is so humid here in Louisiana. It still has some clumps in my quote-unquote airtight container. All right, that's only 1.5 cups. I'm gonna shake this and then add the rest. And then I'm going to add, the recipe doesn't call for it, but I'm going to add a little salt. I'm also using Redmond real salt, and that does not affect you like, let me get a dry spoon. That does not affect you like a typical table salt. This actually is a very beneficial salt because it has lots of minerals in it that are good for you. It doesn't cause you to have, like, raise your blood pressure like a typical table salt and that kind of thing. So I'm fine with adding a little salt to my food. And I like the contrast of the salt with the sweet. That's why I like the Reese's products so much. Of course, in moderation. This is all going to work with me tomorrow. I'll save a little bit for my husband because he is out of town right now. And then I'm taking this all to work to share with them. This will not stay at my house. All right. I'm trying to decide if I need some more powdered sugar to fully coat this. All right, this is our puppy chow. And that name comes because it looks like dog food. That's where that comes from. If you aren't familiar with puppy chow. I think like one of the store brands is Muddy Buddies. But, all right. We are going to get all these together on a platter and do a little taste test. Okay, y'all. So here are our yummy treats. We're going to give a little taste test. First one we're going to get is our little puppy chow. Chocolate, peanut butter. Do you remember the commercial? I don't know, it was like back in the 80s, maybe 90s. You got my chocolate, your peanut butter and my chocolate. No, you got your chocolate and my peanut butter. Perfect combination. Our little peanut popcorn little balls. The buttery, salty popcorn with that sweet chocolate and so good. All right, our little Rice Krispie treat made with Reese's Puffs. That brown butter to make those is just, it puts it over the top. So good. I hope y'all give these recipes a try. Perfect for fall, perfect for tailgating, perfect for parties, whatever it is you have going on. So if you haven't subscribed already, we ask that you hit subscribe, and we'll see you next time. Thanks for watching.